Hi, I'm Jack Canfield, and welcome back to another segment of Speaking with Success. I'm here with Brad Formsma, who's the author of a wonderful book called I Like Giving: The Transforming Power of a Generous Life, Practical Ideas and Inspiring Stories. And I speed read this book today. I love this book. It's full of, I would call it chicken soup for the giving soul. There's lots of very inspiring stories and also some research about the power of giving and the value of giving and what the transformative power, as you say in the subtitle of your book. And I want to ask you a couple questions. How did you come to write this book?
Well, Jack, it started with a family giving story, and it was something where our family got together and decided to do something for someone else. We saw how it affected us, not just my wife and I, but our kids. We saw them start to shift their thinking of not just being so self-focused on themselves, but actually, hey, I'm here to do something for someone else. So we started to get those stories brought together, and we decided, why not put them in a book and show people that wherever you are in life, you can give. You don't need to be a millionaire to give. We all can give time. We can give and share our stuff. We can certainly pay a compliment to someone else. So we can be generous beyond money. Giving money is important, but we can be generous with our lives.
I think that's the big thing for so many people. They think they have to write a big check somewhere in order to feel like they're giving. And you have stories in here about just giving people attention. There's a wonderful story about a homeless person and just paying attention, stopping long enough to say, I see you. That's a huge gift. And like buying someone a cup of coffee, share a story with us, because I mean the power of this book, in my opinion, is the stories. And the stories, when you read them, or I read them at least, I get a warm feeling, and it makes me think, oh my gosh, I could be giving more. I could do that thing that person just did. So share a story or two with us.
Well, Jack, just the other day I was in an airport, and I was in the men's restroom, and I noticed it was clean. And you travel enough to know that it's a bonus to find a clean airport bathroom.
Right.
Well, there's a gentleman in there. He was cleaning. He had his cart all organized, and you could just tell he cared about his work. And I just got this nudge. Give him $20, but more importantly, give him a compliment. And so when I walked out and he followed me out with his little cart, I just walked up to him and I said, sir, I just thank you for making that bathroom clean. And he kind of looked at me, and I gave him the $20 bill, and we shook hands, and he said, my name's Conrad. And I said, oh, my name's Brad. But as we had that handshake, I noticed the name patch on his shirt was blank. And I said, Conrad, I just want you to know something. If you worked for me, your name would be on your shirt because you matter. And the tears started to come, and you could just see that his exchange with me was way beyond the $20. And I walked away. My feet didn't hit the ground. I showed up next to my wife at the coffee shop, and she said, what happened to you? You're glowing. And I said, just let me sit in it for a minute. And then I began to tell her the story about Conrad.
That's very sweet. That's a really beautiful story. We take for granted all those people that serve us on a regular basis. We don't, the people at the checkout counter in the supermarket. I mean, I'm just stopping and asking. I remember when I'm going through, I mostly buy at the Whole Foods, and say, hi, what's your name? How's your day going? Oh, it's almost like, really? You actually want to know? And so that's really great. I'll share a story with you that's the opposite of that, but it was a real teaching for me, and I think it's valuable as well. I was in the airport, and there was, I think it was Washington, and the plane was late. It was canceled a flight. They're going to do another flight. Not going to leave until like 10, 20, 11 o'clock. The snack area closed down at 9. It was about 8:20, 8:40 or something like that. And I thought, oh my God, I better run fast. I'm not going to get any food. And it was all focused on me. And I go and I get something and I come back, and I'm really proud that I was smart enough to do that. Then I see this other guy come back. He's got just hands full of chips and water and stuff. And he's handing them out to everybody. And I went, oh, you selfish son of a bitch, to myself. It really made me realize how sometimes when I get into fear, I forget how easy it is, and I can afford to buy everyone dinner there, so that was a teaching for me. And since then, I'm much more aware of other people and being much more generous. And each time I do it, like you say, you walk away from just a simple little thing. I remember I was at some place like a fast food restaurant, and I stopped to actually go in. I don't like to just drive through and sit in my car and eat if I'm driving 200 miles or something. And as I'm walking back out, there was a guy next to a pickup truck, and he said, "Could you afford to buy me dinner?" Which would be like $8 or something like that. And I said, "Tell me your story." And he said, "Well, I'm a painter. I haven't been able to get a job for months," and blah, blah. And it's a sweet story. And I gave him $100. And I said, "I'm going to buy you more than dinner." And he said, "Oh my God." And we talked for about 20 minutes. And I came home. I got more gratification out of that, gratification than I think when I've written like a $10,000 check to a charity here in town, because it was a human interaction that occurred in that moment.
Instant joy.
Instant joy.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, I just keep thinking about our country and our world. What if everyone, daily, weekly, monthly, operated this way?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would change our society. I think it would give people greater life. And I think the bigger thing would be is that we would have a better world. I always say, I think a generous world is a better world for all of us. But I also think we get these promptings to do things for other people. And if we don't slow down and take the time to see them, they just move on by. It reminded me of just recently, my son, who's 16, he had a buddy in his class, and he came home and he said his dad's not going to make it. The brain tumor came back. And our family was sitting around at a community pool, and we thought, we need to do something for this family. But what do you do? Are there words that you can put to this? And my wife and I just decided, let's get them a gift card. That, invariably there's going to be expenses. We'll make a note, and we're thinking of you, we're praying for you, but here's something for you to solve a pressure point. Perhaps there's an expense that we don't know about. Well, we brought it to their house. We had a brief exchange. It was very emotional, and we got out of there. Well, a month later, the dad passed away. Several weeks after that, we got a call from now the widow, and she said, "I just want you to know that my husband was pacing around the house fretting about something. He didn't want to die and leave me with a car with almost bald tires. And he didn't know how he could afford to put new tires on the car. And when that gift card came, he saw it as his answer to his prayer that he could put good tires under me before he died." And I thought, we get to do this stuff. And our kids are observing this, and our kids think this is normal. That we just kind of walk through life, and of course, we take care of ourselves and eat and enjoy things, but we also find these opportunities. And you know what? I don't think I'll ever forget that story that some man I hardly knew was purposing in his heart, "Oh, please, can I find some money to buy tires for my wife's car?"
Well, it was like gift squared. You gave him a gift, and then he was able to give his wife a gift, which is really sweet. If you're watching this, look at the smile and the glow in this man's face. And that's really what you get to experience when you give. And you live your life from that place, so you're always looking like that, which is wonderful. So if you want more joy in your life, and you want more fulfillment and happiness and grace that comes from that as well, become a giver. Any last words you'd like to say to anyone about the power of giving or the joy of giving?
I just encourage people, now that you're aware of the opportunity that wherever you are, you can give, step out and do it. Move past those inhibitions. Go to our website, ilikegiving.com. There are short video stories to inspire you. This book is another resource just to help you engage this in your family, in your business, in your church, in whatever organization you're running.
Talk about your films for a moment.
Okay. So I Like Giving creates these short giving stories. They're 3, 4, 5 minutes long. They've been viewed over 25 million times in over 170 countries. And they show giving from a perspective of, from the receiver, from the giver, sometimes both. Sometimes they don't include money. But the idea is that you'll love to watch them, you'll love to talk about them with your family, and you'll love to share them with your friends through Facebook or other social media.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I wish we had more time. I would just have you tell story after story.
Yeah, I keep going, but I'm just down the road
No,
2 hours.
I understand. This book is a great book. If it were me, I would recommend you get this book, read one story a day in the morning to kind of set the tone so you can look for where can I be a giver today? Wouldn't that be a great question as opposed to where am I going to have a frustration today or what can I get today, but where can I give? I know one of my friends is Deepak Chopra, and his only prayer is how can I be of more service to more people today? And that has created an amazing amount of success in his life as well. So as I say, I like giving. Get this book, go to your website, ilikegiving.com, real simple to remember. And thank you, Brad. You're doing great service in the world. I really appreciate you.
Yes, thank you, Jack.
Okay.
Yes.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.